Okay, today we're going to go to Torgiano, which is a town it's not even half an hour from here. It's like 28 minutes by Google Maps. And I'm going to try to combine a couple things. A quick tour of the town here we're leaving from. We're in central Umbria. Right now I'm at the little side patio, which I have got a bet on when this vine's going to collapse on it. So let's go out and take a look at town square here before we leave. And the essence of the video here is going to be to take a look at some of the driving. What is it? What is it, Nochi? Nocciola? What is it? Oh, she sees something there. Okay. Anyway, Rome Cafe, as I've said many times, all Italian coffees are good. Haven't found a bad one yet. So, okay, let's go. Andiamo. Pronto. Pronto. Okay. Pronto. Coco, seduta. Seduta. Coco, seduta. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, so we're going to go on a drive this morning, and actually I've already gone, and I wanted to put this introductory screen. So we're out in this little group here in the middle of Italy, and if we zoom in here a little bit, you can't quite see the border, but this central area, right around in here, not there, right around in here, is Umbria. It's the only province in Italy, or region in Italy, that doesn't border the sea. But it's fantastic. So our drive was going to be over to the Lungarotti vineyard. I wanted to point out a couple things. We could have just went boom, boom, and taken a shorter route and been over there in half an hour. But I took a little bit longer route and then came back up the interstate. And took still only 45 minutes. But I made an error in my description of coming up here. Notice this road here. This is E45 that comes down. And I think at some point I made the mistake and said that Spello, and down here a little further, Spoleto, were on E45. They're not. They're on this SS3. There's Spello and Fogliano, and Assisi is also on that, well, just off that, SS75. So the highway I was thinking of here, this one, this E45, it goes from Perugia down here to, it does get down here to Terni. But we took a sort of a sideway across. And to put the context, the point I want to make here is, if you look at this map, okay, you see these big green areas. These are forests around the Apennine, forests on the Apennine Mountains. I'm going to switch over here to this view, right? So these green areas are places you can't farm anything. If you zoom in a little bit more, you see all these fields, these regular fields. That's where that's the route we took. We came across this valley. I call it a valley in most of my descriptions of it, only because it's between the mountains, the Apennines here on the east, these green Apennines, which is the border of Umbria, and the Apennines on the west, which is also the border of Umbria, more or less. This part of the Apennines is in Tuscany, but yeah, that's sort of the western border, is those Apennines. So what we're into here now, across the farmland, these are rolling hills. It's not like a big broad valley. It's up and down, back and forth. It's a nice drive, beautiful farmlands and agriculture going on. But we went down here, made a wrong turn, and got on the interstate and came back up here to get to our destination, which is the winery Lungarotti. And so most of this is driving along, and then we have a little bit of time at the winery and a little bit of time driving back. So that's what this video is about. It's just commentary on the way here through central Umbria to the winery and back. There's commentary about Italy and driving in Italy and life here in general. So enjoy. Okay, before we get started towards Torgiano, where we're going to visit the Lungarotti vineyard, just a quick view around town here. This is our main square here, where we've got our bar and an alimentary with lots of good food in there, and a pharmacy. And you know, we come up here and have coffee in the morning and a glass of wine in the evening. And this is just your typical quote bar here. You know, you get nice sandwiches. The case is very empty right now. Usually it's just got sandwiches and pizza in it, but it's a little early. What time is it here? It's 9:10. Beer and juices and soda and water and all that sort of stuff. And they do make a pretty good pizza here. This is the only food in town, though, really. There's no restaurant in town. We've got to drive about 5 kilometers to get to a restaurant. And in any case, come on here. Come on, dogs. Come on, Nocciola. Let's go. Andiamo. Oh, come on. You want to be carried, don't you? Sure, you want to be carried. Come on, Coco. I just want to show one more thing here before we go, which is nice. And that's Carne e Fantasia. Meat and Fantasy, which is a fantastic little butcher shop. She makes the Norcia sausage. This building here is our Circolo, where the Pro Loco meets. The Pro Loco is a real important thing in Italy. So, oh geez, here comes Antonella and Flora down the street. Okay, now we better stop and say hello. Flora's a cute little dog. Flora.
Look.
Flora, look. Hi, Flora. Hello, Flora. Oh, she's a sweetie.
You know,
she's a sweetie.
to take photo to the animals is very difficult.
I know. They turn away this the second you want them to. Okay, are we ready? Pronti. So we're just going to start off here in Pietrafita and edit out some of this because it's a half an hour drive over to where we're going. And this part I wanted to put in because this is something that's very common here, and where the streets will narrow down to be one car only. See, there's no way we're going to fit through there. So those mirrors are pretty important, and sometimes they're not in great shape, but you know, people work it out. Anyway, the reason I'm going this way, you know, is because here, at some point here, we're going to have a very nice view of Perugia from this road. And today it's a medium hazy day, July 27th. What time is it? About, quarter after 9 by now. Fairly early. And the winery opens up at 10. So I want to kind of get there early and try to beat any possible tourist crowds or something like that. I don't think there will be, because even though it's a Saturday, Umbria is just not as trampled over. It's away from the coasts, and you know, other than Assisi and Perugia and a little further south, Orvieto, there's not a big concentrated tourist attraction here. Oh wait, I was thinking of the other road up on the ridge there to our right, which has that view to Perugia. Maybe we'll take that coming back. So Anyway, I think probably this is a good place to pause. The sunflowers down below there have been harvested. And summer's dry here. I don't know if you notice, the sky is perfectly blue, not a cloud to be seen. One day this week we did have some clouds roll over and got a little tiny bit of rain one evening, but summers here are pretty clear skies and dry and hot. And so, you know, they have laws about outdoor fires in the summertime here, and they've got a civil protection organization, which is not a trivial organization, that you know, really checks on these kinds of things, and they find people if you have accumulated brush on your property or something like this. So yeah, it's not burdensome or anything. It's one of those things like, yeah, there are laws about it, and how hard do they enforce them? Yeah, I don't know. In the summertime, I did see the civil protection out last year from the same bar that I was just at, from the porch there. Of course, they weren't drinking, but it's a good place to scan the surrounding hills and small towns to see if anybody's doing any illegal burning. So, fortunately, they didn't see anything that day. But here we're in a little valley with a bed and breakfast here and there. There's a little agro-tourismo back this road that I haven't yet checked out to see what it is they make. Let's let this guy pass us. Now on the right up here, who is it? I know that guy. Excuse me, on the left up here is this field of sunflowers, and this is a good spot to stop. Oh, they're starting to get past their prime now. Yeah, the yellow, let's turn the camera here. Okay, so if you can see these sunflowers, there are a couple small ones yet that have the yellow leaves. A week and a half ago, this field was just all yellow. Now you can see the sunflower seeds on the heads are mature. So today's July 27th. So prime sunflower season, note to self, is about maybe July 4th, a couple weeks after that. Okay, doggies, let's get back on our merry way. Torgiano. Yeah, so I saw this video. Oh, you know how you get things in your feed on driving in Italy, and I thought, well, that's nice. And they spent a lot of time on the different towns in Italy and the places that they drove to. Not enough time on actual driving in Italy. I wanted to see what they had to say there. And let's see if I get this camera to stabilize a little bit here. It's a shaky camera mount. In any case, there's a lot to be said for driving in Italy. I think one of the highlights that I made a comment on was that relax, forget what you know, relax, and go with relax. That was it. Forget what you know, go with the flow. And somehow that had a resonance, because your Italian drivers are, on average, pretty good. They seem like they're crazy, but that's just because of what you're used to. So forget what you're used to. Some of them are pretty fast. They don't mess around. Most speed limits and things like that are mere suggestions. Yeah, but don't stress it. Just look. Don't be surprised if there's a gap in front of you, if somebody cuts into it and then cuts back out of it just as quickly, and there's no accident. They seem to, they go through a driving school. I don't know how much reflexes they build up there. There's a racing culture in Italy, so I think that probably has an influence on some of the drivers. There are a lot of, out here in Umbria, a lot of, I was going to say potent cars, but maybe that's just maybe those are just the ones you notice. Now this guy in this Clio ahead of me is exceedingly slow, so he might be like me, just a tourist or a Sunday driver, Saturday driver in this case. It's not in a big hurry, and has plenty of time to get to Perugia by 10 o'clock. It's 9:30 now. So they probably just started off earlier, going slow, or might be an older driver. Now the road here, you notice, is kind of bumpy. And you run into this all over the place on these secondary roads. Let's back up a second and talk about vehicles and types of roads. In Italy, they have a lot more gravel roads than they do in the United States. These are like state forest roads. I should pass this guy. And it's a good place too, so I'll do it. So, these Strada Bianca, they're called, white roads. They are very rugged, and you can easily scrape the bottom of a car or get a car hung up on one if it doesn't have enough ground clearance. So not to scare anyone, but these roads connect really, really small towns out in the middle of nowhere. So if you're doing a tour of your average sized town that has some services, from those kinds of towns to others, you won't have to worry about white roads. This is the worst kind of a thing you'll get on here. The other danger is in some of these towns, the smaller ones, even the bigger ones, you can get into places that are very, very narrow between buildings. We just went through one there in Pietrafita as an example. But there are places where you have to go one way. People will be parked doing crazy things, unloading groceries or whatnot, or making deliveries on these kind of streets, and you've got to be patient and wait for them. And it's not the kind of place you really need to get to, but you could find yourself in if you're not watching the signs closely. Hey, that field is sunflowers is much less developed than the one we just went past. Okay, so we can still see sunflowers on July 27th. Great. Okay. Now, we're not going to Perugia. There. So we're going to go to Torgiano. Oh, let's put on our map. Oh, I wanted to get a little bit of footage of a roundabout here. Okay, so we wanted to get a little bit of footage of a roundabout, and as I recall, there's one ahead here, but you can't see it from where we're at. We're in that big valley between the Apennines that form the east and west boundaries to Umbria. And in between there, I call it a valley, but it's just a lot of little hills. So right ahead of us in these little hills, as a point of reference on the map, right there it is. This is the town of Spina. Now Spina is a cute little place. surrounded by agriculture, and you can see Apennines all around. Fantastic the wines they make here. They've got a really good butcher shop here. Lamb burgers. Need I say any more? Lamb burgers. Oh. So anyway, that's where I got my hot dogs made for the 4th of July. They make an American-style hot dog there, too. In any case, you notice the roads here, like, falling away. That's pretty common in certain areas, too. They slide away. So here's our roundabout. Okay, so the thing about roundabouts is there are more and more of them in America now. Some people are used to them. I don't know if they have nearly the skill that Europeans have with them. But we're going to look to the left. Nobody's coming, so this is a no-brainer. I'm just going to go around a second time here. We're going down to near Marciano. These things are, if there's a gap, people will merge in, and it's fine. You have to sort of just go with the flow. Don't speed up, don't slow down. It's on them if they don't merge correctly. See this guy? He can see he can get right in ahead of us quite easily. Boom, he does. Why should he wait and hold up traffic? And there he goes. So, and if you're not sure what to do, you could do what I'm doing. You can go round and round and round and round about. Here comes the guy. Let's see if he goes. Yeah, he's going to go. No, he won't. No, he didn't. Yeah, we were just at the wrong place for him. But I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have accelerated and fit in ahead of us. But in city driving in a roundabout, he probably would have. I mean, they do. Okay, let's get off the merry-go-round here and check the map and see which way we're going. Maybe we'll go up into Spina to check our bearings. Yeah, what the hell? Let's go up to Spina here because we're only about 1 kilometer down the hill from it. Okay, so there we go, Spina. You're supposed to use your turn signals, I suppose, when you're going to get on and off. Some people do, most people don't. So there's that. Okay, so we're just going to crawl up the hill here a little bit. And maybe we'll show you the butcher shop in Spina. Nobody coming. That was good enough to stop. Okay, here we go. Here's another one of those little narrow spots where traffic can only get through one way. Yeah. Okay, and that's Spina, the castle. It's a totally enclosed community, or it's a former castle. People have private residences in there. They have a nice festa once a year. There's a bar here. Spina's a great little example of what I call a type 2. Big enough to have everything, small enough to have no hassle. There's a pharmacy. They actually have a bank here. We have a bank machine in Pietrafita, but we don't have an actual bank. Here you can see the outside of the castle. Down here to the right is our butcher shop. Well, let's take a drive around the perimeter. We're not going to go in. Because we're on our way to someplace. Right, we're on our way to the winery. And there's our... Now these... how do you get rid of garbage in Italy that you accumulate? Yeah, no, there's plenty of public places for this stuff. So here's the shady side of the castle. I shouldn't say castle. It's nice in there. We should walk around in there and show you that sometime. Maybe when there's a party going on, we'll come over here to it. Right there. I'm going to back up here so you can see how to get inside. Right? I think there's 3 ways in here.
here's one. We're not going to go in. You can. You're not allowed to. By the sign there. You see the sign, or do I have my... kind of see the sign. There it is. Yeah, no, you can't go in except for residents. And that's what it's like. That street is what this whole town is like. You can walk through. It's a little bit of... It's not too much of a maze. It's not too huge. Well, small, actually. You can't possibly get lost. You might get disoriented, but you're not going to get lost in there. It's a great place to get disoriented. No services inside that I know of. We've been through a couple of times. I think we've seen it all there at Spina. But here's the services on the outside of the wall. So, typical bar for coffee. And let's go down and stop at the butcher shop. I don't think we're going to go inside now. What do you think? Should we get a lamb burger? A couple lamb burgers. Okay, so here's another little bar. And down here they have a Conad City, which is like a mini Conad. There on the right, can you see it? Maybe? No, that roof right there, is it? Okay, so we're going to just zip down here and take a look at this. Oh, I passed it. Okay, nobody behind us. Let's just back up. And look at this macelleria, because they're, one of the well-known macellerias around here. Ours in town is known for its, okay, and there, can you see it? La Carneria. See the cow up there? Right there? See the cow? La Carneria. That's it. They make some fantastic sausages up there, and our butcher specializes in veal, and she's got turkey, and of course chicken and lots of beef. But these guys seem to be more lamb oriented over here. Okay, so I'm going to stop this now and check our route. Okay, so we're just coming down the hill out of Spina now. Oh, and there's the leading Spina sign, Comune di Marciano. And I forget if we go through Marciano or not. I just wanted to get on the right road out of Spina, and then we'll make our way over there to Torgiano. We've got to go under the E35 expressway, which is a it's a searching for the right description of this expressway. It connects Perugia with Terni, which is in the south of Umbria, and along the road are Spoleto and Spello and Assisi and Deruda, which is another nice little town. They're famous for pottery. We're just going to be a little bit north of Deruda in Torgiano, which is along this road. So I hesitate to say the problem, because it's not really a problem. It's just a characteristic of this road is that it's a regular highway, and it connects a lot of nice destinations. It doesn't get too busy. When you describe traffic to people, it's relative. Are we talking about, New York City traffic? Are we talking about Beltway traffic in D.C.? Are we talking about L.A. traffic? No, nothing like any of that. Nowhere near any of that. So, yeah. So I think probably a problem that this one couple that did a video like this pointed out was, it's not like it was 5-10 years ago. With Google Maps and the navigation systems in the cars, it takes a whole aspect of hassle away, of the stress about so you can just focus on the road more. And that's why here, if you're not really good with a manual transmission, really it's a good idea to try to reserve an automatic transmission, because it just takes away that one more major element of distraction, and just makes it a little bit easier to be relaxed about, your vacation. So, now, St. Helena, maybe we should have gone that way. I'm going to have to check my navigation again. That turn off to St. Helena has got me thinking. Okay, so I just thought, we're coming into a little town called Olmeto, and it's one of those towns along the way. I think I remember a pretty interesting looking church here. I don't know if I'm in that spot or not. Up. So let's just look around. Saturday comes the municipality to collect the garbage. No, this is not the town I was thinking of. I might not have really hit the core of town there. Usually there's some kind of an old, these towns on the hill have some kind of an old remnants of a castello. And this one must have been a pretty small one. I don't know if you can see, I'm looking at the phone here as I drive. Now you can't really see as far to the left and right as I'm seeing. And this is just in the heart of that big, quote, valley, big agricultural valley, the green heart of Umbria, between the Apennines on the east and west borders. Okay, so here's leaving Olmeto. I'll look this up on the map. But here you might be able to see a little bit some of these fields. It's just, olives here close to the road, but as soon as you get down beyond the olive trees, there are vineyards and regular fields that have, now this road's kind of really, whoa, bumpity. And what, another garbage truck. Huh, wow. Okay. Yeah, they're big. They're small roads, and big vehicles travel on them, and you have to sort of be careful. I think it's a good idea to practice the skill of driving closer to the edge of the road. Okay, so Perugia, Marciano. We're heading for Marciano. Closer to the edge of the road than you normally would. Slow down and get over there, because these big trucks are, they're everywhere. They have a complete, well-developed infrastructure here with all kinds of farm equipment, and they have a different type of semi-vehicle here, but it's just as big as those in the United States. But they've got to navigate the heartland here, these small roads, and it's just amazing how much is out here. A stoplight. You don't see those very often. Nice little screen. So let's see. We came into this this town through Olmeto, which is a very close neighboring town. And I don't know the name of this town, so I'm going to make a note of it here. Babble a bit. Now this is kind of nice out here. We're starting to get to these hilltops, some of them in this big broad green zone. It's actually kind of tan on Google Maps with little green spots here and there. But this big broad San Valentino della Collina. Okay. It's like this. You see over there that yellow field of sunflowers, and up ahead there is a vineyard, and over to the right there a little bit further is rows of olives. This place is just, it's no wonder the food's so good here. But I've made a mental note of this place because they make food around here, and you know, if you like Eastern European food, German food, sausages and so forth, the Italians have got some good stuff for you. Did find canned sauerkraut the other day at the store. I was so happy. But getting something like barrel kraut, that's not going to work out. So that's fine. Now this little town's sort of in a little valley here. See the bell tower there? Well, it's in a valley, but it's on a little hill in a valley. What the heck's the name of this one? No, I haven't been through here before. You could remember this one, right, Coco? No, Giola, you haven't been through here. Papiano. Okay. And it's not, our Google Maps is not going to take us through town here. Here, see another narrow spot with a mirror here. Should we go up and check this one out or not? Yeah. No, not today. So every place has this characteristic. There's a old historical center of town of various sizes depending on the town. And outside there are more, I don't know, I guess you'd call them run-down-ish looking. They're not run-down, but they do look from another time. And, you know, because a lot of these things were built, geez, during the fascist years and stuff like that, and since then. And some of the construction's very nice and neat, simple, utilitarian. Then they ornate it with a lot of plants and railings and grates and gates and things like that. So, I don't know. It is what it is. It's nice. The people that live in these houses are nice. That's the main thing. And, yeah. Shut up now a little bit. Yeah, just a comment about the road. You see there's a ditch very close to the road, and in a lot of places, if there's not an outright ditch, there's a steep bank right by the road. But here, look at this coming around the bend here. It's not a super narrow road here, but if that was a much bigger vehicle, then the narrowness of the road would be a factor. Now here normally I would just drive right down the middle because you can see well, but I'm taking my time here and driving kind of close to the edge of the road. You see there's a smooth patch and then this rough patch. And I'm just trying to keep my wheel on that smooth patch without going off the road. So I think this kind of practice might be very good if you're coming to see, the heart of Italy here. So we're heading back towards Perugia here. Now this on our left here, our right here, excuse me, the other left, on our right here, is the train. This I don't think is, no, it doesn't look like a main line, like one of the express trains that go from wherever, Milan to Rome and Florence to Rome and that sort of thing. But maybe we'll get a train along here. So I'm just going to leave the camera running here in hopes that we see a train. Okay, now it wants us to cross the tracks here. So our signal's not red. Oh, this is not a main deal here at all. There's brush growing on it. I mean, it's in use because the rails are shiny, so it gets daily use. But there's a little bit of brush growing on the track. And if I look at the ties, I guarantee they're going to be concrete ties. All these lines, all these rail lines are built for high-speed use. Okay, so we go up here and we're going to head towards Casalina. And we're now in like a valley, right? This is a flat valley. You can see up there on the left a little bit the Apennines on the eastern border of Umbria. You have to go over like a ridge. Some places the border is right there on top of the ridge that you can see. But we'll cross through this valley, and it's just a gigantic. It's like there's a region in Tuscany. What's it called? Something d'Orca, Valle d'Orca, something like that. It's a huge agricultural region where wineries all over the place, lots of agriturismo places. It's popular and, you know, heavily visited. In Umbria, we have sheltered between that ridge you saw there a minute ago, between these two bands of Apennines on either side of Umbria. If you zoom back on Google Maps, you can see the big green areas. Those are forested areas up on the Apennines. See this ditch on the right. You don't want to get off the road and go down in these ditches. So I have heard of people that come here and they get a rent-a-car and they like to drive like, you know, they're in the Grand Prix or something. And yeah, it doesn't work for me. Yeah. See, plenty of room. So here's driving that Audi on the similar way that I am on the side. Now here I'm not sure what this is. I come across these places and they look familiar and I think, have I been here before? But here we're going to cross the river, which means we're getting close. The Fiume Tevere. Okay. Some old farm buildings. Tractor there with round bales on it. They've got some big tractors here. You have to pay a little heed. Now here's another roundabout. Let me stop. Okay, here's another roundabout. Something I wanted to say about roundabouts was they come in all different diameters. This one's medium. It's nice because, you know, you have a little bit of room. You can see the people coming in from your left, right? I'm going to go around here a couple of times. Can you see them? Now you can't see in the middle of this one. They've got a millstone in the middle here. But there's plenty of room here. If somebody's coming in, you can get more than one car in the roundabout at a time. So I'm going to... oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just kept following my directions. Okay, stop. Okay. Now this is interesting here. We've got a bicyclist and a horse. So we're going to go up here. We're getting close to this E35 highway. Look, Coco, a horse. That's a beautiful horse. Okay, so go ahead there, buddy. Now we don't actually get on the E35. Oh, I think this is going to take us onto the E35. Yes, it is. Dang it. Okay, I made a mistake. So we'll go down here and turn around and come back and get a little bit here of video actually on the E35. The entrance ramps, definitely use your turn signals on these babies. They're not as long as in the United States. This one was a rather long one. Okay? Some of them are a lot shorter. So you really need to have a pretty good ability to get up to the speed of traffic and find a good hole and get in there. That's the way the Italians do it. They don't wait at the end of the ramp for a big giant space, all clear. They seem to, in general, have reflexes and timing, which allows them to gauge that acceleration properly, so when they come on there, they can get on the highway. Now, where this is going to take us, I think there's going to be like Spello coming up here or something like that. But we're going to get off here at Bianca and just turn around, get on the highway, and come back north. I missed a turn back there. So let's get off on this Ripiarba exit. And then it's going to take us under the highway or over the highway. And then we can be going the other direction in the other lane on the other side there. Ripa Bianca. I don't sweat it whenever something doesn't go quite right or you make a funny turn or whatever. As long as you're not going to get in an accident, you just see what you see. Sometimes this is where serendipity, you have to be really open to serendipity. Well, you don't have to. Do what you want. Looks like we're going to go under the highway. But that's just the way I do it. I like to just be relaxed and take what comes. Okay, so, oh no, wait, this isn't going to put us back on the right here. Oh, this is going to get us way off. No, it isn't. I don't know. Usually, that kind of thing will take you right under the highway and then put you right back on the highway. But I think this is a funny exit because I can see something coming up down here. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, this is a funny exit. So this one, we're heading north now towards Firenze, towards the A1, towards Perugia. And, okay, that was all the room in the world on that one. Yeah, but here we are on the street like this, on a highway like this. This is E35. You're connecting with a lot of little towns along the way here, and this is like the golden road for fantastic little Umbrian sightseeing. It's a gorgeous view, and lots of beautiful towns, good food, good wine all the way. Places to stay, all that. But so no. What I was getting at here was on this you could have any dang vehicle you want to have. If you want to rent a Maserati, fine here. But the second you get off of this into some of those little touristy towns, that Maserati's gonna at some point begin to be problematic. So a medium-sized car, I think, is best here to sort of a compromise. It depends. It depends. If you're going from big tourist town to big tourist town, then it's no problem. Now we're not going to get off here at Casalina. It was trying to take us a little bit further north. But if you're going from Termi to Assisi to Perugia to Siena to Florence, bigger towns, you're talking 3s and 4s on my scale, if you're familiar with my scale. Rome would be a 5, a major city like Rome or Milan. A 1 you can't even get through sometimes. There's no services, people live there, but you can't even get through a 1. But I generally like 2s and 3s, 4 on occasion, although 4s are the ones that do get touristy. You're talking Assisi and Florence and places like that. No, not Assisi, Siena. Assisi's, it's like a 3. It's a good-sized town. Once in a while it'll get a little bit touristy, but even on its worst touristy days that I've seen, it's not that horrible. It's not that bad at all. And they've got lots of shops for souvenirs and things, and lots of restaurants, and pretty good selection of all that stuff, along with, of course, your historical attractions. Now, is it going to put a... Okay, so this is our Deruta exit. Okay, Deruta, so we're going to stay on here for another stretch. Deruta is a cool little town famous for ceramics. Okay, fuel in Italy, right? You can pump your own, but you have to be careful because some of the machines will not take your particular credit card, and or they'll limit the amount you can buy. Or if you use cash, sometimes they will steal your money. I saw a guy lose 50 euros once, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do? So now here along the interstate, these are no problems. These are not always open. Sometimes they're self-service. There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones. Sometimes they have a cafe. But if you get your gas pumped, of course it costs a little bit more, but that's a safe thing for me. If you're going to pump your own gas, you can try your credit card, but if it won't work, always have at least a certain amount of cash. I give the machine 20 euros in case it's in the mood to steal my money, and if I didn't do something right. When I saw the guy lose his 50 euros, he probably screwed up somehow. I don't know how he did it, but yeah, he lost 50 euros, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, it pisses you off to have something steal your money. So I use 20 euros, and then I'll maybe give it another 20 euros or so, especially on the weekends. Because things during the week, it's no problem, depending on the hours. A lot of these places, on the smaller places, will close during the afternoon. So you're on your own then. So it's kind of a good idea to fill up when you can, and then be careful about, of course, now this goes without saying, so pardon me for stating the obvious. See all those pots over there? Yeah, this is Deruta area here. So, there are places out in the hinterlands here where it's hard to find. They don't have gas stations just everywhere. It's like driving out in the middle of it's worse than driving out in the middle of Pennsylvania or Texas or someplace like this. There seem to be more gas stations. And I don't know. I hesitate to speculate. Yeah, what's this to get off here? Okay. Here we go. Torgiano. What time is it here? 10:14. Great. So we're a little bit later than we wanted to get here. That's fine. We're just going to keep going right around here. 4 kilometers to Torgiano. Oh yeah, we came through here by accident one time on our way up to Assisi. Sort of the back way to Assisi. And actually, if we're lucky, we might even get a glimpse of Assisi from here someplace. There's a little Fiat going along. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, so we come up here and we make a left. Okay, if you're on the right, you have the right of way. That's another thing, an intersection like that with no kinds of traffic control devices. They're all over the place. And if somebody is on your right, they have the right of way. So that's an easy way to remember it. If they're on your right, they have the right of way. Now, traffic control device. Okay, good. You see that green thing back there? It's one of those speedometers. It will send you an automatic ticket. Ponte Nuovo, which I think means new bridge. I don't know. Nuovo's new. Oh, there's a nice little bell tower ahead of us there. Yeah, is this a place for a convertible? You have to ask yourself. Yeah, no, not in the summertime. Spring and fall, maybe. Summertime, it's a little bit of a conundrum because summertime here, the weather is clear, very little rain, beautiful but hot, and that sun is intense. So, yeah, if you're thinking about convertible, I don't know, I would consider it. Here's another traffic control device. Okay, speed 50. We got it. I'll tell you, if you're going a little bit too fast, you can't slow down in times. They're tricky about where they put them. Okay, so anyway, convertible, no. Air conditioning, yes. Automatic transmission, yes. In the summer. In the spring, you know, of course, like when it's raining. Okay, Torgiano, here we are. So up here on our left is going to be our winery someplace. There's fuel. This one is only self-serve. No, it's not only self-serve. They have a little booth there, but it's closed. And you just never know when those things are those little ones are going to be open. Sometimes it's just for a short time during weekdays. Sometimes it's just in the mornings and the afternoons. You know. Okay, so here, we passed our winery. We actually passed it. It wants us to turn around. I wasn't watching. Okay, let's check our traffic. And go back this way. Okay, I'm going to have to switch to my map view here. Okay, Commune di Torgiano. Turns out we didn't make a wrong turn there. Trying to do too many things at once here to drive. Enjoy the countryside. Watch the map. And do my best to narrate a little bit. So there's a sign to Centro Torgiano. Where should we go? No. There's hundreds of these. Gorgeous little towns. Coco, you getting a little warm back there? Or are you just anxious to get there? There's a traffic control device. And apparently, we're right here. Oh, there we go. There's a couple of signs for agritourismos. I'm gonna have to pause here. Okay, traffic control device there, 50, we're good. A lot of them here. Now this particular spot, Torgiano, is, it's just south of Assisi. And you can actually see Assisi up on the hill from here. And just in a second, I think when we go around one of these bends here, we should see it. we will see a CC. Another traffic control thing. They are very serious about the speed here. Jeez. Okay. So, Google Maps or Waze, something that you really should be on at all times and have a co-pilot watching specifically for these things. Because, you know, you get hit with a 50 euro fine in a second, and there's so many of them. I could see somebody not paying attention and racking up, I don't know, easy 1,000 euros worth of fines in a day. There's so many. If you don't, I mean, you miss one or two, no big deal. But if you're just not aware of these things and not watching out for them, it's easy. And if you're 1 kilometer per hour over, boom, that's it, done. So that's a pretty good pointer there. Okay, so let's see if we can get this view of the CC we're trying to get here. It's not going to happen here. A little brush trimming up ahead. The green paddle. I have the green paddle there. It's not real obvious. It's just that little green paddle. It's not illuminated or anything. And they usually pay good attention. The guys are directing the traffic, but once in a while, no. This guy's got his green paddle out. He shouldn't have it. He should have the red side face into traffic. Whatever. So what do we have here? Growing. I don't know. Certainly a vineyard. Okay. I'm determined to get this view of a CC. There it is. This is not the best shot of it. In the mountain, you see that? I don't know if you can see it or not off to the left side there. It's sort of a pinkish spot on the hill. This is not the killer view of a CC that's on all the postcards. But you can see Mount Pena in the background, and that's enough of that. I'm going to get off my CC kick here and get back to our winery. See all these vineyards on our right here, and I've got a recommendation for another type of wine, the one that sent me in this direction. Let me stop here. Okay, I just learned that when I'm filming, I'm recording the video, the Google Maps does not update me. So, whatever. You make some wrong turns. Chance for serendipity. So we're going to backtrack, and I'm going to turn the camera back off, the phone back off, so Google Maps will work. Okay, Torgiano, back to Torgiano. We're not going to go up through Centro. I do recognize this. I came up here to a soccer game one time, and you know, our local soccer team was playing an away game, and we came over and cheered them on. Anyway, down here on our right, I think that's it just ahead, that building, you can sort of see it through the trees. I do believe that is our winery. It's bigger than I was hoping. Fine. Okay. And here's where we're going to turn in. See if it looks a little bit more touristic friendly. Yeah. Yeah, it's got less of an industrial look. Lungarotti, big and bold as you please right there. So let's park here under the shade. Okay. And go up and check it out. How about that, Coco? And Nocciola. I'm sure Nocciola wants to check it out too. Okay, Lungarotti. Okay, so this is the white wine we're going to try first. Vermentino, Cerbianco, Grechetto grapes. It's aged in stainless steel. Why isn't this recording? Oh, my finger's in front of it. It's aged in stainless steel. Yeah. Not very much of an aroma. I don't know anything about wine. Okay, that's really what I like. Almost no taste. As I said, I don't know anything about it. Now this next one is Torgiano, Vigna e Pino. This one is 30% aged in French oak. Oak or French oak?
Sorry?
Oak or French oak? Does it matter? It's oak.
Yeah.
It's oak. I think they saved the French oak for this one.
Yes.
Okay.
So we only
Because obviously French oak has got to be. Oh. Anyway, so this one is, and then 70% is aged in stainless steel, and it is aged for 2 years. You say
in the bottle.
this one, 2 years in the bottle.
Yes.
Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, hey, guys, chill out. You're not getting any. Oh yeah, interesting. It's still light. It's not.
Yeah, it's not too heavy.
It's not heavy, which is what I have a problem with. Okay, this is very good. That was useful. Okay, this is the flagship Sangiovese, 2018. It's about 45 here, but this Rubesco is 90% Sangiovese and only 10. So that's something to take a mental note. The Montefalco Sangratino, I did try a little bit, and it is exceptionally good. It's about 20. So, okay. Notes taken. Okay, you guys, we'll be going in just a minute. So, we did try a red today, and I decided to, it's good, it's extremely good, but I'm just going to get a couple bottles of white here to try out. And the Sangiovese grape is very huge here. And excuse me, what was the name of the other grape that was discovered again in
Sagarantino, this one. The
Sagarantino.
tasted.
Ah, okay, Sagarantino.
Yes.
Sagarantino. Okay, which was given another try in the 70s, and they've become more sophisticated with the chemistry, so they figured out how to make it without making it too sweet, because it's got a lot of tannins, which are good. Those grapes have to be dried on the vine, and then after they pick them, they go to the cellar. So obviously, it's a little bit more expensive. Okay. Okay. No, I'm sorry I didn't spend more time in the winery here, but I focused on whites today, and this is a interesting thing here. Because of the DOC regulations, you can get the exact same wine in Umbria that you could get in Tuscany, pretty much the exact same wine. Of course, it varies from field to field and things like that. But the point is, from the exact same types of grapes and produced skillfully, but you can't call it that. So they don't have Brunello here, but they have wine with Sangiovese grapes. But that's a red wine, so that's for another time. All right, let's go home, guys. It's getting hot. Okay, I think a little more roundabout footage would be good. I hit this one, which is a very medium-sized, and this one actually has a little divider here between the center circle, the grassy area, and it had enough traffic here this morning. What is it, Saturday? It's 11:30, with some folks merging in here that might be good to watch how they do it. Okay, so that guy saw me coming around, but he knew there was just zero problem, in and out, boom. Didn't even have to slow down, because he saw my speed and how much space there was. So it's really a practice in judging speed and space and distance. And yeah, otherwise, you know, your risks are higher. Okay, I guess that's enough. The traffic is, must have just hit a little bit of a more traffic area. But yep, zip in, zip out, and that's it. So if you get stuck in a roundabout, you can easily just get to the inside. If you want to be stuck in a roundabout, just go around on the inside and let the people come in and out on the outside. Because, you know, a medium-sized roundabout like that is almost 2 lanes wide. The circle part, the donut part. So if you're cruising around on the inside, you can go around 100 times and not interfere with the roundabout. You have to be, of course, on the outside to make your exit, like right there. So here, we're just gonna be on the outside because we're gonna exit here, which is a tricky exit because there's another road coming in there. Okay, that's enough roundabouts for now. Okay, so I was gonna just drive home and not record any video, but I came upon this shot right there of Perugia here in San Martino e Colle. And I think I'm gonna get another view here right around this bend. So let's just go slow. And there it is, Perugia. Can I zoom? I can zoom a little bit there. More focus. Yeah, that's Perugia on the hill. I'm thinking that's maybe 15 kilometers. Less than that, maybe. Anyway, right now we're very close to home. Let's de-zoom this thing. I say very close. We're about 25 minutes from the house. The winery there is 28 minutes if you don't make any side trips, which I tend to do. San Martino in Colle. Then we're going to go over to Pila, and it's pretty nice straight roads from there. Okay, on our way from San Martino and Colle to Pila. Typical road, you don't dare get off it. There's not a big wide berm. This one's painted nicely and very smooth. But at any second it could turn nasty. It just depends where the road's been sliding away. serves. I've actually not been down this road before in either direction, but I seem to remember from Google Maps that it comes out at a stoplight that we go by all the time. So let's just follow it around here. Up, stoplight 100 meters. Okay, here we go. So here we make a left, and if we go right, we're in Perugia. If we go left, we're heading back towards Pietrafita. Another stoplight. I can't see it from here. Wait a second. Yeah, let's get back here where I can see the light. Oh, it's green. Okay, we go. Okay. Yeah, I need a more stable camera mount. I'm sure that the amount of bouncing around that's going on in the recording is pretty exaggerated. Here we've got, technically there is a line in the middle of the road, but you can't see it. But it's wide enough. But a ditch, you notice the ditch over there on the right. So I guess, yeah, Italy does require more, what I would call just a raw skill, right? Raw skill meaning the ability to control where your tires are on the road with a little bit better precision. If you need to go be on the left side here, or maybe you want to be on the right side here, the left side here, you know, close to the line, but we're not over the line, we're not on the line. And the same thing on the other side. If you need to get close to this side and be close to the line, not, you know, maybe on the line here because we actually have a line. That's getting a little bit too much for this speed though, but obviously not over. So that tracking is a skill that's you know, kind of needs to be a little bit better out here on these narrow roads, bumpy roads, a lot of obstructions on them, and ridges and things. Don't go. Okay. Then the other thing is the speed estimation and the timing, and that's for these roundabouts. Speaking of roundabout, I've got a sort of a blind one here on the hill. Now this one's definitely medium-sized, small to medium-sized, but more medium because you have to actually go out around a fair amount on that one. The radius of the roundabout is big enough to be a good roundabout. What I want to warn about is these small roundabouts where the radius of the roundabout, it's practically like a crossroads with a small circle in the middle of it. And this, when I say small circle in the middle of it, you almost don't have to alter the trajectory of your car very much at all to get around it. You don't have to slow down as much to get around it either. And those are the ones that you really have to watch for, because people coming in, you know, there's obviously there are rules for the right of way, but in roundabouts they stretch it a little bit. They, you know, they're guidelines. If somebody was there first, you might have the right of way, but if they got there first, they're going to go. They're not going to wait for you. That's just what I've noticed. Now there are some kind of old Fiat drivers. I've mentioned these before out in the country here. Older people that have basically a Fiat Panda. That is the That's the car. Oh, beautiful field of sunflowers there on the right. But those people, I'm not even sure if they're legal to drive. There's a age at which, I think it's 70, I forget. But there's an age at which you've got to take your driver's test every year here. And some of these folks, they drive so slow and they take such back roads. I just get a feeling that maybe they just let them alone. And you know, the police don't bother them, I guess. So yeah, that's quite a nice setup. Now there's a little camper, somebody with a. They do a lot of RVing here in Italy. Or here in Umbria, at least. I can't speak for all of Italy. But they're smaller, much smaller RVs. And usually very unostentatious. So we don't have that lifestyles of the rich and famous aspect of RVing and tailgating with showing off type thing. Which really is surprising because there are a lot of there is Italian style is world famous, and people do quote show off their style unquote, or display their style and their taste and these sort of things. But I haven't seen it with the RVing community, so maybe that's just a little bit different subculture. I don't know. So we're going to go through Castiglione della Valle. See the sign there, and it's, I don't know. It's a place I'm sure it's fine for folks that live there, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a size 2 town for sure. It's a good solid 2. They've got a pharmacy and a barber and I don't think they have a butcher shop, but they have an alimentary. So you can get you know, groceries and medications there. They don't have any particular medical services. They probably do have an ambulance, some civil protection designated person. But it's Castiglione della Valle, which means it's in the valley. Here it's not on a hillside or a hilltop. And so it's not got, I don't know, the same aesthetic. It's not bad. It's not bad looking. It's interesting. If you plop it down in anywhere in the United States, this little town, Castiglione della Valle, it would be a major tourist attraction. People would be flocking to it for the architecture and the beautiful church and the old stonework and things like this. But out here, it's kind of nothing. So we do have a nice, here's the valley it's in, and you can't see it yet, but I can see it coming off to our right here. So we'll be going through it in a second. Maybe I'll just go ahead and take a quick run through there. I don't know why. Maybe we'll see something like that applies to driving in Italy, which, believe it or not, is the theme of this video. So we've got another nice field of sunflowers on our left here. Ah, those things are beautiful. There's something else, rape, that grows in the spring, which is a brilliant yellow. Maybe, is it more yellow than the sunflowers? I don't know. But okay, here we go. Here's no, this isn't quite Castiglione della Valle yet. This is just a villa up on the hill here. You get the occasional clink of these bottles here. Now that is a little town on the hill up ahead. Is Montepetriolo. That is a Type 1, Class 1 town. It's no services. I drove in there in another video. I'm not going to go today. No services, just residents, and definitely streets you can get stuck on. One way up, and I think one way out. One way up is paved, and if there is a second way out, it's going to be white road. It might be white road through that you shouldn't be even on. Okay, so this is Castiglione della Valle, and let's just go up here and go through town. That's the church. It's down here on the plain. You see the hills are around it there. And there's a nice bar there, and it is a nice little bar. Stopped there for a coffee one time, and oh, lo and behold, a friend wanders in. Well, I can't remember her name. She's got horses here and is from Piedmont. So she became a friend because I was in the grocery store and asking about some ingredients for bagna carta, and she knew how to make bagna carta, and she shared the recipe. And yeah, there were a couple subtleties I was missing. It was good. So that's something Nona Irene used to make. So yeah, this is Castiglione della Valle. Let's see here, up here on the right. Oh, well, let's go up into town. Why not? I think the last time I drove up in here, I don't see a sign that says we can't go this way. It's not a very far trip up into town. Into the castle, and right up here on the right, not back there, I don't think you can go back there. Nope, that's a driveway. Did I say on the right? I meant the other right, which would be the left. Up here on the left is an elementary, which is a little grocery store, which there used to be just covering. Every block in Pittsburgh had one of these things. And there it is. It's a tabacceria in Vera Wearer. Dark in there. Nobody in. Oh, well, there are a couple people. Here's the church, Castiglione della Valle. So Castiglione della Valle, did I say it was a solid 2? I don't know. I might give it. I guess it's got to be a 2. Anyway, I also wonder if I can get out of here this way. Parking for the church. Oh, there's Perugia off in the distance there. I don't know if you could see it there. Those two towers make it easy to recognize Perugia. Aha, here we are, Strada Chiusa. So it's not a bad place to live. It's just a little bit further out. Quiet. I don't think we're going to stop at the elementary today. We don't need anything. There's a view of the outskirts of, outside the wall. There on the right, you can see part of the wall. This one, aside from that elementary, this one is just totally, I guess you'd say it's totally privately owned. People live here. Not too much business. I'm not actually even certain that they have a, I think I'd said before they have a post office, but I'm not sure that they do. There's Francesco. Let's stop over here. This is where you can get your hair cut here in Castellano Valley. Hey! Buongiorno! Come here, say hello. Who is it? Look who it is. Look who it is. Uh-oh.
Vai fare una passeggiata?
Ah, sì, sì. We're getting some wine. Comprato un po' vino. Lungarotti.
Ah, Lungarotti.
Sì. Sì. You know,
Pila?
imprato.
A pila?
A fila?
Dove l'hai preso? Dove l'hai comprato?
Oh, buono prezzo. Tutto 70.
Sì, ma dove? Con
Un secondo.
Vabbè.
Wait a second. Okay. Anyway, I guess while we were checking out Castellano della Valle, we just stopped there to Francesco's shop. He cuts my wife's hair when she comes here, and works out pretty well because he's much better at it than they are in Philadelphia. You cannot count on anything there in terms of competence. So anyway, I shouldn't complain. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I've got a fellow here. Wants to go a little bit faster than I do. So I'm gonna bend, but seems to be the practice to just let them go, just move over and get on the right in the road as far as you can, and they'll pass. Many people would have passed me given that small opportunity I just gave this fellow. So they're just not in a hurry or that's fine. Yeah, that's a definite skill I've been sharpening up. It's a skill I've been sharpening up, I guess. It's exactly where does your vehicle track? Where are the tires on that road ahead of you? If there was a soda can on the road, could you hit it? And it's not a bad thing to be, improving. Sure helps here in Italy. turn off of. And head up over the hill, Pietrafita. Well, I'm getting hungry. It's 12 o'clock, 11:58. So that was a pretty good morning trip, wasn't it, puppy dogs? Now, what's for lunch? We had a friend give us some zucchini and tomatoes. And I'm thinking we're going to make a salad. Okay, one last little bit here about one of these Citroen micro cars. Whatever, pain in the butt. Save the planet. Go ahead. Just don't get in an accident, because you're going to die. Okay. And we're back down to the center of town here in Pietrafita. I should stop at the barber shop, or the, not the barber shop, the meat store there. Alright, we're home. Past the Campo de Calcetto, where they're building new locker rooms. There's the practice field with the finest grass in Italy, and the amphitheater, and there's our gate. We're home, puppies. Mission accomplished.